All right, I'm getting ready for my next Frank walk, and this time I'm walking with Boomer Esiason, former NFL MVP with the Cincinnati Bengals, also played for Jets and Cardinals, and he had a great NFL career and then parlayed it into a long broadcast career. He worked Monday Night Football on both the TV and radio side and has hosted CBS's Sunday football coverage in the studio for 20 years. He's also a host of the morning show on WFAN, which he's done for almost 20 years as well. He's got great charities off the field too. He raised a lot of money for Cystic Fibrosis to help his son Gunner. And he's a hockey player, but he's also a New York sports fan. So come along as I walk with Boomer Esiason.
There he is.
Hey, how's it going?
I can't believe you showed up with your Devils jersey on. You should be embarrassed right now.
Yeah, well, I am. We're the softest hockey team I've ever seen.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's all good. We know what we're looking at right there, right?
Yes.
It's the Freedom Tower.
Yes, indeed. I was just talking about it. 17, and it's 1776 feet.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
And that replaced the World Trade Center, and it's a symbol of how great our country is, don't you think?
Yes, I like the design that they have those vents out there so the building doesn't sway.
Yeah, it doesn't sway. That's exactly right. Why are you wearing your Devils shirt?
I wanted to show you that people care about hockey, Boomer.
Yes, okay. That's good. But why do you say your team's soft?
They just have no grit. There was a game I went to where they only recorded 6 hits.
Okay.
That basically every puck battle they lose. Okay. Every battle in the corner they lose. It's like Jack Hughes is getting beat up every game, but nobody responds. Nico Heischer's had 2 concussions this year, been thrown to the ringer. Nobody responds. He's got.
But isn't that why they traded for McDermott?
That was too late.
Too late. But they also had goalie problems.
Yeah.
You've also had injuries.
Yeah.
You've had defensive problems.
Losing Dougie Hamilton was a backbreaker.
That was it, yeah, because, I mean, he's the leader of the power play.
Dougie Hamilton was the backbreaker.
All right,
and Jack Hughes isn't 100%. Lindy Ruff's a terrible coach.
Well, he's not there any longer.
Nope.
You guys wanted to fire him last year, and then he led you all the way to the playoffs.
Yeah, the problem was it was Andrew Burnett who was the big reason why, and then he went to Nashville.
All right, so let's forget about your Devils because they're out of it.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about that. Worry about next year.
I tell you, one player that I wouldn't mind seeing on the Devils next year.
Who's that?
A player that's got a little grit, free agent.
Yeah?
Maybe leaving the island, come to New Jersey.
Is his name Matt Martin?
Yes, it is.
You think so?
I wouldn't mind it. He's got the type of grit the Devils need.
Yeah. I think the Islanders like him, though.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they kind of understand the kind of player he is. He knows what kind of player he is.
And that's the player the Devils need.
Yes.
They have the skill players. They have the skill players all up and down the team. We got Luke Hughes and Simone Nemec, who are both going to be outstanding offensive defensemen.
Right.
But we don't have a great defensive defenseman.
And now you're trying to get my son-in-law to go to Jersey?
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is for me to go to Jersey?
I know you were in my neighborhood once.
Yes, I was.
The Belmont Tavern. That's like down the street from me.
The Belmont Tavern is one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated Italian restaurants I've ever been in.
I mean, it's legendary.
It is. Well, for you guys over there, for us over here, we've never heard of it. You know, that's the way it works.
Well, I think they invented the chicken Savoy.
Did they really?
That's what their claim is.
Well, I did not have the chicken Savoy, I can tell you that.
But yeah, that's their big signature dish, the chicken Savoy.
So, like, you know, how did you become this big sports, legend that you are right now? You have people working for you, they got people working on you.
Well, it all started with the Durant New Jersey Transit rants.
Okay.
And that basically launched me. I've been hiding in the shadows for years. I mean, I took broadcasting at Montclair State. I just couldn't find a job, and no one would give me a chance. No one would give me a chance.
Yeah.
And then I worked at the courthouse, and I built a website that was around for 20 years.
Okay. What was the website?
It was sportsencyclopedia.com.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you have this understanding of all sports.
Yes.
And what makes teams great.
Yeah.
Now, do we have any great teams in the tri-state area right now?
Not that I see.
Oh, so the Rangers aren't a great team. You're biased. You are so biased.
You're gonna get the kiss of death. You gotta get the kiss of death.
What's the kiss of death? The President's Trophy?
The President's Trophy.
We may not get that. We could still lose that. We don't care about that.
Yeah, I tell you what, if the Devils were in a position the Rangers were in.
Hey guys.
If the Devils were in a position the Rangers were in,
yeah.
I'd root against them just to lose 1 or 2 games so they don't get the President's Trophy.
Right.
That President, even though the Rangers actually did win the President's Trophy and the Cup in '94.
Yeah.
But
it happens. It happens. I know everybody says it's a kiss of death. It's a bad omen.
It's become a curse.
It's not a curse.
The Bruins last year.
Yeah. You know what? It's all about health and a hot goalie, right?
Yeah. And you know who the hottest goalie ever was?
The hottest goalie ever was Martin Brodeur.
Yes, he was.
Until he met Mike Richter. Then Mike Richter in '94 was by far the hottest goalie.
But he was a rookie that year.
But so it doesn't matter. Mike Richter won the cup for the Rangers. You know that, and I know that. Come on, everybody knows that.
Yeah, right? Brian Leach was the Conn Smythe that year.
Yes, he was. And Messier was the ultimate leader.
Yep.
The exact perfect guy. You talk about grit. That's grit. I know that hurt you.
The one thing you can't deny, though, is the Rangers were kind of the Oilers in disguise.
Okay. Right now? Is that what you're saying right now?
I know, it's 94.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. We won the cup. It's okay. I see you have something for everything that I have. You're just going to argue with me the whole time?
No, but I mean, it's you know how Devil fans are.
Yes.
I put it this way: I'll trade our 3 cups for that one.
All right. Well, I understand. You might want to just stick it in my face, but that's okay.
You know what's funny was a couple years ago, about 10 years ago, and he was a total bust.
Yeah.
It was a late first round pick.
Who was
the Devils
that?
drafted Stefan Matteau's son.
Oh, okay.
And when they did that, I was like, oh, you even got the name, and you got the name Stefan Matteau too. That was like Lou Lamoriello's last draft.
All right.
And it was like, oh God, Lou's lost it.
Oh,
he was a bum.
You know what? Lou has not lost it. Lou is the fabric of hockey. You know that.
Yeah.
As much as I would have loved for him to be our general manager, it never happened. You know, he went to the Devils, went to Toronto, and now he's with the Islanders. So he's been all around my Rangers, and I think he's had a lot to do with the failure of our teams.
I think sometimes that even though you're great for so long, that a certain point comes when the end has to come. Like the Patriots, Belichick.
It happens, sure. I know, people move on.
And Lou Lamoriello should be in the Devils' Ring of Honor one of these days.
He will be. You know that. I know that. And Devil fans will cheer him on.
Oh,
like
yeah,
they should.
sure. I have no ill will to Lou Lamoriello.
All right, so let's forget about hockey for a second. Your football team, the Dolphins.
They drive me nuts.
I would think that they would drive you nuts. You got to like their coach, though, right?
I like him. Just I don't know if he's too smart for his own good.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're thinking that he's not tough enough on the guys, or?
He tries to get too cute with the play calling sometimes.
I think he's brilliant. You don't think he's brilliant? I mean, he's smart. Look at what he's done with Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah. I say one thing, and people say the Dolphins should get rid of Tua. I don't think so.
Right.
I don't think he has never gotten a fair chance.
Let's hold on for 1 second,
guys.
1 second. We got a guy throwing haymakers over there for no reason.
He's shadowboxing.
You don't know what we're going to run into. You want to say hello to that guy?
No, I think staying away from him is probably a wise call.
Yes.
That's why you're the quarterback.
That's exactly why I'm the quarterback. Stay away from people that just don't seem to be stable for whatever reason.
Yeah, stay away from the...
But that's the things, that's the thing that you run into in New York all the time.
I mean,
I think we can move on a little bit now.
Yep.
Just slowly, that's all. You're moving way too fast for me. I just got off of work.
Now, one thing I know is that after you retired from you became like a hockey player.
Yes, I did. Yes, I picked it up when I was 37 years old, believe it or not. And I'm still playing today.
I remember I went to one of the Mikey Strong games.
Yeah, it was a great game, and I was a little slow on the ice, but still, nonetheless, had a great time.
I mean, of course, going to the NYPD game. The FDNY, that is a legitimate hockey team.
Well, it's a legitimate physical game, too. You talk about those guys. I've actually been invited to play with those guys, and I will not get on the ice with them. I will not get on the ice with them. I'm not about checking nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay upright.
Oh, so you're kind of like the Devils.
You want to say I'm soft, skilled? Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, the Devils are skilled. It's just,
yes.
And then Jack Hughes shouldn't be out there checking anyone.
No, he shouldn't be.
Yeah,
but that's why I picked up hockey, because I think it's the greatest game. I think it takes so much skill, so much heart, and so much desire to make it.
I couldn't
to the
skate.
NHL level, to the NHL level.
I couldn't skate.
Yeah.
I don't have any balance. Maybe I have a little bit better balance now, but growing up I didn't have any balance.
You don't have any balance? That's hard for me to believe.
Growing up I didn't have any balance.
Right. Jackhammers, holes in the ground, people swinging at nothing, people walking all over the place.
That's New York.
Go here, guys. Go right. So there's a specific reason why I'm taking you down here.
All right.
So I know you're a big Boomer and Gio fan, right?
Yes.
And what has Gio picked up over the last 2 years that now all of a sudden he's obsessed with?
I haven't really, pickleball, right?
No, golf.
Oh, golf.
He has become a crazy golf person. And I wanted to tell you a story about coming down to the World Trade Center and the reflecting pools and the Freedom Tower and how beautiful this place is.
Oh, New York there's nothing like New York City.
Especially this area, because it's built on the back of thousands and thousands of people who rebuilt it, thousands and thousands of people who died, not only on that very fateful day, but over the last 20 years that have continued to die because of all
the toxins.
Right, cancers, everything, you name it.
Our fabulous government. Oh, it's fine to breathe the air.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that was not the case, but people had to be down here to rebuild this.
Of course, and the volunteers that are down here just handing out supplies.
Yes.
I like the actor Steve Buscemi, who basically is a retired fire officer, came down and helped the rescue effort.
So, to let you know, I had a foundation office on the 101st floor of the North Tower. And say hi, Frank. See that? They're yelling for you, Frank. So we were on the 101st floor of the North Tower. That was the first building that got hit. And all of my buddies worked on the 105th floor. And we were in a company called Cantor Fitzgerald that lost over 650
Yeah, I remember
people.
Cantor Fitzgerald.
Right, so I go back to 1984 when I was drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. I had never played golf in my life. And I was asked to play in a celebrity golf tournament called the Long Island Charities Golf Tournament out on Long Island. I said, well, I've never played. I'll be more than happy to play, but tell the people, whoever I go with, that I'm not very good. So the guys that were running that tournament called this one guy, Timmy O'Brien. Don't know him from Adam. He's a Long Island basketball player. He played at St. Agnes. He was great. Played at Hartwood College. He was great. And he picked me over Paul Blair. Remember Paul Blair?
Paul Blair, Baltimore Orioles.
Yes.
Yankees also.
Right, and Paul was he was already established professional player. I was a rookie coming out of Maryland. People in Long Island knew who I was, and he was a Long Islander. So Timmy picked me over Paul Blair as his celebrity for that celebrity golf tournament.
Oh, nice.
Back in June of 1984. And Timmy O'Brien became one of my best, if not my best friend ever in the world. And I try to make it down here once a month to be reminded of what happened on September 11, 2001. And I wanted to show you Timmy O'Brien's name on one of the pools here, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
So all of these guys right here are all the guys that were on the 105th floor. And there's Timothy Michael O'Brien right there. You see that?
I like how they did this. This is a nice touch. I guess they don't turn the pool on.
They turn it on when it gets a little bit warmer.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful what happened and how they remembered all the names, I think.
A couple years ago, that one guy, that poor guy that like hopped it.
Yes. Well, there's a lot of crazy things that go on in New York, like I said.
Well, that guy was the son of a victim, and he was like, and he just lost his mother, and it was like
he had too much.
Yeah, it was like too much. So he went in there for like, it was bad that he went in there, but I felt for the guy.
Yes, well, we all do. So this Timothy Michael O'Brien here turned me on to golf in 1984, just like I turned Gio onto golf in 2022. So that came full circle for me. But
well, how about Joe Beningo, the way he's into golf?
Oh, Joe Beningo's the worst. Have you ever played golf with Joe Beningo? Have you ever seen him play golf?
I've only done pitch and putt once, and I've done mini golf.
That's it. That's about it for you, right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. So let's keep walking. Let's keep walking down this way.
Now, you're talking about your foundation.
Yes.
And your foundation is the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Yeah, it's my foundation and my name.
I mean, I remember when your son Gunner was diagnosed. This is like just after you got to the Jets, wasn't it?
That's exactly right. It was 1993. It was in the spring. It was around this time of year. So that was about 30 years ago.
And he was a kid. He was like, what, 3, 4?
Yes, he was diagnosed when he had just turned 3, and I felt like we needed to do something, and that's how I ended up on the 101st floor of the North Tower here, was because of a guy by the name of Howard Lutnick hired Timmy O'Brien. Timmy O'Brien said, I'm not coming unless Boomer can bring his foundation here and work for free and not pay any rent, and that's how I ended up here. And yeah, that's when Gunner was diagnosed back in 1993.
And back then, it was like the diagnosis was like bleak. But it's amazing how in 30 years, and I think a lot of it has to do with the work of your foundation.
Well, it's a collective effort that started over 65 years ago by other parents who had cystic fibrosis, kids who were dying at the age of 5 and 6 and 7, and they wanted to do something about it because nobody was doing anything about it, because there is such a small group of people that suffer from the disease. So oddly enough, I meet Frank DeFord in 1989, who lost his daughter Alex to the disease at the age of 8. He gives a speech at a dinner that I'm at. It's so awe-inspiring that I asked him if I could get involved. And this is well before Gunner's even born. And little would you know, 4 years later, Gunner is diagnosed with that same disease. And so that's when the full press, for me anyway, started. And I found out how many people had lost so many people leading up to that, that I tried to do whatever I could and to use the platform that I had to raise as much money as I could.
Because that was the first time I ever heard about it, was when you made the announcement, you announced you're going to do all this stuff, and I actually followed Gunner on Twitter.
Yes. So Gunner actually, as it turns out, just had his 33rd birthday. When he was born, the median age was 19 for cystic fibrosis patients. He's not only 33 years old, but he's a graduate of Boston College, the Dartmouth Tuck School of Business. He has his own son, Casper, and he has another daughter on the way that's due in July.
Nice.
That is a miracle.
Was he like was he working like as a coach or something like that? Or
he was a hockey coach at Friends Academy. He was a football coach at Friends Academy out in Long Island, and he wasn't feeling well. That was after he graduated from Boston College, and he felt like he was at end-stage illness, that he was going to need a double lung transplant. And then in 2017-18, he got a part of a drug trial, and that drug trial changed his life forever.
Wow, that's nice. That's amazing. And basically, it's the doctors and the foundations that help do this. That they do a lot.
Doctors, parents.
I mean,
fundraisers, people who run for our Team Boomer team still raise money to this very day. there's still a lot of things within the cystic fibrosis community that need support. Yep.
I mean, it's amazing how it's really like transformed. It's like now people can actually have lives with it.
A real life.
Yeah.
And a future.
Yeah.
And now all CF patients have ever wanted to be is a part of society. They want jobs, they want families, they don't need handouts. They want to earn everything they get. They know what being tough is. They know what facing adversity is all about. And quite frankly, Gunner is the prime example of that, for me at least. And as you can see, they do have the fountain on here.
Huh. Well, that's nice. Probably the other one they just haven't turned on yet.
Yep.
Yeah,
I always tell New Yorkers, because New Yorkers aren't people that go see things, but this is a place where every New Yorker, everybody in the world should come.
Yeah.
Just to be reminded of how horrific 9/11 truly was here and the impact that it had on this city. So it's amazing that it took so many years to figure out what they wanted to do here. They had all sorts of financial issues. They had insurance issues. Who owned the building? Who didn't own the building? Was it one attack? Was it two different attacks? And finally, Mayor Bloomberg was the one that negotiated the entire city through all the different levels of things that they had to get through to finally get to what we see now as a memorial, which is really amazing when you think about it.
Red tape in government, they always cause problems, you know?
Yes.
It's like everyone tries to nickel and dime you. It's like, it's a shame that someone tried to like take advantage of this situation.
Yes, well, I mean, where there are problems, there's opportunity,
Yeah.
right? And people are always looking for that opportunity, but I think, like, for me anyway,
You reflecting fools who done white.
Mayor Bloomberg was the guy that figured it all out. And I don't think people give him enough credit for it. I know the people that are involved in all of this understand the important role that he played in all of it. And thank God he was in office. That's all I can tell you. Because if he wasn't, man, this would have been a mess.
Well, look at the current occupant. It is like, I mean, anything can happen in New York.
Yeah, you know, but when you walk down here and you realize just how beautiful, on a beautiful day, on Eclipse Monday.
Yeah, Eclipse Monday. Yeah,
exactly.
The eclipse is coming tonight. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be. I mean,
are you gonna look at it?
I'm gonna try to like give a quick glance.
Do you have your glasses for it?
No, I don't. But I'm gonna place it and put my phone up.
All right.
As a shield.
Okay, be careful. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe your head will fall off. I'm not sure.
Well, New York, anything could happen. We could get an eclipse, or we could get an earthquake.
Yes, exactly. A lot of things could happen around here.
I mean,
no question.
I was heading down last weekend to go to Martinsville for the race,
Yeah.
and I got my coat on. All of a sudden, I hear like it sounds like a truck's going by, and like
It's shaking.
Yeah, it's shaking. It's like, did we just have an earthquake?
Do you know that I was the Grand Marshal of that Martinsville race back in 1992?
I did the Nextel.
Oh, you did
not
Nextel?
Nextel.
Okay.
It's Infinity now. Xfinity now.
Xfinity now.
Xfinity now.
It's good.
I did the Xfinity race on Saturday.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I was the
Grand Marshal.
Yeah, the Grand Marshal did the command, start your engines.
Yes. Gentlemen, start your engines. How does it sound?
Oh, it sounds great.
Drivers, start your engines!
Now it's drivers start your engine.
Oh, that's what it is now.
Yeah, they have. There's a woman running the race, Haley.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
Yep. So now, because women have gotten involved in the sport, they say drivers start your engine.
Okay, well, I think it's great, don't you?
Yeah, and give everyone a chance. Anyone that can do it.
Hey, were you into the South Carolina-Iowa basketball game?
A little bit. I was hoping that Iowa would win, because I wanted to see Caitlin Clark play a championship. She's something special.
She reminds me of Larry Bird.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. She's she basically carried Iowa. Iowa is like the rest of the Iowa team. That's why they lost to South Carolina. It's because
You know how Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, Steph Curry even, they see the basketball court, they see it. They see it differently than everybody else. That's where I would put her. I would put her right there.
She might be the women's player.
Yes.
That like launches the WNBA to the next level.
I think they're hoping for that, but she's not the only good one. I mean, there's a whole bunch of young girls that are coming now, and I think they're going to make it legit.
I think maybe they should consider. I think doing the WNBA in the summer hurts it because everyone's on the beach or watching baseball. I don't know if they want to go inside and watch a basketball game for 2 hours.
So you'd like them to play when the NBA is playing? How about doing double headers?
Maybe, yeah, that might work.
Why not?
I think, but I wouldn't say if I put it like exactly the NBA schedule, but maybe like running the WNBA from November to February regular season.
Let's cross over. You think that would hurt it?
I think it might. That both leagues are able to cohabitate.
Yep.
They might actually be able to promote it better.
Oh, okay.
We got the single.
We got it. Okay, let's go. Look at you. You're on top of it.
Yeah, they got the Walkman.
Yes. So let me ask you a question. I know that you like to rant about things, and I was watching you ranting about the Mets opening weekend. I mean, can we calm down? We got 162 games to go.
And I actually think they're legitimately garbage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything that's going to happen this year that's good. I don't know about their prospects. I've seen too many prospects come up and be bust.
Do you have an understanding that there are a lot of Met fans that hate the fact that you're so negative?
I've just been broken.
Really?
Yes.
That's your explanation?
I've been broken.
Okay.
2007 to 2022, blowing a 10.5 game lead.
Yes.
With Brandon Tierney, it's over.
But you got to remember, me and Craig Carton started in 2007.
I know that, Boomer. You started
and we thought we had all the
September.
great. We thought we had all the pitching and everything, and we fell apart. What do we call that September? Do you remember? Carton called it something. I forget what it was.
All I know is I every time I hear the song "Free Falling" by Tom Petty, it's just like it takes me down. It just reminds me of that whole month.
It must be miserable to live a negative sports life like you do.
I mean, the Dolphins, besides having a terrible logo by now, I mean,
a terrible what?
Logo.
You don't like the Dolphins logo?
No, I want the retro logo.
Oh, you want the retro? You want the new one?
Yeah, the retro.
The old one.
Yes.
The one that Dan Marino had.
Yes, the one that Larry Zonka had.
All right.
When the Dolphins went undefeated in 1972, 17-0, and every year when the last team loses, I celebrate.
Yes. Just like you and that 72 team.
Yes.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I didn't realize you were that upset. Is there anything in sports that brings you joy?
I haven't had any real joy since, I had a little bit of joy last year.
Okay.
Game 7, walking out of that arena. That was one of my favorite experiences.
Yeah, but then you lost the next series, so it doesn't matter. You didn't win a championship.
No, but it was a pleasant enough season that I had hope. And then it all just got this year.
You know, I always tell people that 1988 was my favorite year as a football player, but we didn't win the championship. You know, that's a tough thing.
Joe Montana going on the field and said, "Hey, look, there's John Candy."
Yes, that's true. I saw John Candy that day too.
I mean, I love that story. Hey, look, there's John Candy.
Yep. You know, that's the way a quarterback would step in the huddle and try to calm everybody down. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys, what do we got to lose here? We can win the Super Bowl. I was thinking about that with the Brady and Belichick in their first Super Bowl against the Rams. Like, if you would have told them that they were going to be tied with about 1:30 to go in the game, and all they need is an Adam Vinatieri field goal to win it, wouldn't you take that if you were the Patriots going into that game?
Yeah, and what's funny is I remember watching that game, and the Rams had all the momentum, and they said, John Madden, who's a great coach, great commentator, I don't know what the Patriots are doing trying to rush down the field. Only bad things can happen here. Just go to overtime.
You know what the thing is? You should have listened to Westwood One Radio. Because I was on there saying what I just told you.
Yeah?
If you would have told Bill Belichick that he only has to go about 35 to 40 yards to have Adam Vinatieri kick a game-winning field goal inside, I would have bet $1 million he was going to go for it.
Now, I have previously thought Adam Vinatieri is the greatest kicker of all time.
Yep.
So I think Justin
This
Tucker
way.
is like gaining on him.
He's right there, but Adam's got, he's got Super Bowl winning kicks. He's got, championship game winning kicks. He's got kicks in the snow. He's got kicks. I mean, not saying that Justin Tucker doesn't. I mean, Justin Tucker's an awesome kicker.
The Tuck game kicks.
Yes.
To me, those are the greatest kicks of all time.
Right, exactly. And that weather.
Because everyone talks about the Tuck play, whether or not it was a fumble or not. I think it was a fumble, but the Tuck, those were not short field goals.
No, they weren't.
And that was a lot of snow on the ground.
And how about the wind?
Yeah.
You forget the wind in that game. Did you watch the Dynasty series?
Haven't watched it yet.
Okay. I wonder if I'd really like to know, because I would imagine you have a total dislike of the Patriots.
Total dislike. Hate them.
You can't stand them. So I'm figuring
Especially in 2007 when they almost went undefeated.
Yes.
And the Giants saved our legacy.
Yes. Our legacy, your legacy is the Dolphins, yes. But they did win 18 games.
But that doesn't matter. If you have that one loss, you have that one loss.
Yeah, that one loss, right.
And you know what? I bet you every one of the Patriots wishes they had lost the regular season game and won the Super Bowl rather than going 16-0 and losing the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you still play every game like it's, you got to play every game like you got to go to win it. You can't take your foot off the pedal. You just can't do that.
I think what happened to the Patriots in that game, in the Super Bowl, is the luck ran out. And it was...
No, you know what? You know what happened to the Patriots in that Super Bowl, Frank? His name is Steve Spagnuolo. That's what happened.
Well,
And do you think that an assistant coach should ever be elected to the Hall of Fame? And if there was one, wouldn't Steve Spagnuolo, as defensive coordinator of the Giants and of the Kansas City Chiefs, winning multiple Super Bowls, be the first candidate to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as an assistant coach?
Well, there'd also be, what was his name? Ernie Zampese would be another candidate, and Dick LeBeau probably.
Dick LeBeau would be one. Dick LeBeau was a defense coordinator for our Bengal team that went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But Steve Spagnuolo, has really he's won. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Dick LeBeau, just for service in the NFL, both as a player and as a coach, is one of the most decorated people in the NFL.
Very good. Some guys just can't do a head coach. They just can only be an assistant.
So you still haven't asked my question. Do you think that should be a potential?
Yes, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Right. Have you ever been down here at the North Cove Marina?
I've never been to the North Cove Arena. I've been to Battery Park.
But do you like the North Cove Marina? You
Looks
like it?
very nice.
You got Jersey City right across the way over there. There she is, Lady Liberty to your left.
By the way, that belongs to New Jersey.
You can say whatever you want. It belongs to America. It was a gift of France. So stop saying whether you want to pay your tax dollars to upkeep it. Fine, I'm good with that.
But I'd also like the tourism money.
It should be a federal landmark, which it is, and you should respect it as such, and stop arguing with me about that.
But it belongs to New Jersey.
No, it doesn't. It belongs to all of us. Stop with your nonsense with the jersey and this and that. It's unbelievable.
Well, I just try to get things for Jersey.
Yeah, well, you're going to have congestion pricing for New Jersey. How do you feel about that?
The politicians just don't listen. They don't care.
Right. Okay.
And they just...
I know you're big on the rail system. You love the rail system.
Yeah, and they're raising our rates 30% over the next 6 years, starting with a 15% raise in July.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you're on top of this.
For trains that are falling apart,
right,
that are filthy. And the reason why we're getting this raise is they built a new office for the executives for New Jersey Transit in Newark, next to Newark Penn Station.
Yeah, but the executives need a nice place to go to work.
They could go to North Penn Station.
But they need a nice place to go to work. They got to have like the coffee station. They got to have snacks in the middle of the day. You know, if there's ever some sort of an emergency, they got to call their families first, make sure they're okay, and then
Yeah, well, they
could
could have an office in North Penn Station.
Okay.
They could clean up North Penn Station for everybody.
All right, well, they're trying to clean it up.
Yeah, the only need to do is paint the rails.
Paint the rails, okay. But I know this is a big stickler for you. Like you hate mass transit, but you use it.
Yeah, well, New York, I would say the New York City subway is probably how all mass transit should work. It's probably the best.
In what way?
It's reliable 90% of the time.
Yes.
They keep bringing on new trains.
Yes.
I like the fact that they have stations that have tell you when your next train's coming.
Yep.
I mean,
that's all been updated.
Yes.
How about do you use the ferry?
I've been on the Staten Island ferry a couple times, but I don't use it often.
Here comes the Jersey City ferry right here. Look at that.
Nice.
I kind of like being above ground, especially now that we're having earthquakes. You know what I'm saying?
You know they're laughing at us in California.
I know they are.
Because on Friday, one of the other Barstool people was also trying to get down to Martinsville. I drove.
Okay.
I drove down to Martinsville. This guy was trying to fly out of Newark, and
ground stop.
There was a ground stop.
See that, Frank?
And of course, Seton Hall's NIT rally was delayed because of the ground stop.
Right.
Great job by Seton Hall, by the way.
Yeah, great job winning the NIT. I didn't know you were a big NIT guy.
I'm usually not, but Seton Hall got screwed.
St. John's got screwed.
They both got screwed.
Okay.
They both got screwed. Let's put it this way. There's no way the Big East should have only gotten 3 teams in the Mountain West. The Mountain West. Who watches the Mountain West?
People out there in the Mountain West. They have feelings too.
Yeah, but come on.
You act like you're the only one with feelings. They have feelings.
Yeah, but all but one team in the Mountain West was gone by the second round.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
Do you give nice presents to people?
Yeah, I try.
Are you happy when you give them presents and the way they react to receiving a present from you? I mean, like other people have feelings.
Yeah, well, the Big East deserved 5 teams.
5 teams, okay. I kind of agree with you. Maybe. All right, so they had 3, right?
And all 3 made it to the Sweet 16.
So, so it goes to show you how good of a conference they were.
And keep in mind, Seton Hall beat UConn this year.
I know that. So what do you think, Frank? You think St. John's will win a national championship with Rick Pitino?
I don't know yet. They have a disadvantage because they don't have the greatest facilities on campus.
Yeah, but they play at MSG. It's supposed to be the world's greatest arena.
It is the world's greatest arena.
Oh, you admit that, huh? And it's in New York. So I got you to admit that.
Yeah.
See how he snuck that in on
Well,
you?
it's great for basketball. Hockey, not so much.
Oh, it's great for hockey. It's awesome for hockey. I mean, you know. So you don't. There you go. Port Authority, Faraday Terminal. Do you know the difference between the MTA and a Port Authority?
The MTA is New York City Transit.
Yes.
It includes. It actually includes Metro North.
Okay.
And LIRR.
Okay.
Port Authority is actually shared between New York and New Jersey and includes the PATH.
You're very good. Now, why do we need 2 of them?
That's a good question.
Do you think that's a lot of extra money has to be spent?
Yes. That's a good question.
Is there any redundancy there?
There's a lot of redundancy. It would be great if the MTA took over everything.
You want the MTA to take over?
Yeah, they're better than New Jersey Transit.
Oh my God. Are you okay? You feeling all right? Okay.
I mean, nothing's worse than New Jersey Transit.
Okay. So where does John Calipari end up?
Looks like Arkansas.
And who's going to replace him?
I hope not Shaw.
Really?
Yes. I want Shaheen Holloway to be at Seton Hall for at least 10 years.
Well, Shaheen Holloway is very popular.
Yes, I know.
And he fits the mold.
He is a star, and I tell you what, if he ever lands at a top level program in Seton Hall, you know, maybe they could do something. They don't have the NIL money.
Do you see Shaheen Holloway in Lexington? Can you see that?
It scares me.
What about Billy Donovan?
Billy Donovan in Lexington? That's very possible too.
Okay. Anybody else you could think of? Rick Pitino?
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen either.
I think Rick Pitino's now in his final spot. I think Richard Pitino,
His son? Yes.
could be a possibility for
Okay.
Kentucky, but not Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino, I think he's now wants to. His mission is to make St. John's back in the limelight.
See, I think you might have broken a story here, and we might be ahead of it so far that people aren't thinking the way you're thinking. And this is why you're the sports fan that you are. You said Shaheen Holloway to Kentucky. That's
Scary. It scares me.
a scary thought.
It scares me. It scares me as a Seton Hall fan.
Yep.
And I know because I know if he goes to Kentucky, he's going to do great things because he's a great coach.
He is. Okay. So,
I'm a fan of Shaheen Holloway.
all right.
I liked him the moment I saw him at St. Peter's when he took a 15 seed from the tiniest little college you could imagine. I mean, I don't even know why St. Peter's is like Division I. It's like their campus is like
Tiny.
2 buildings.
Yes, I know.
It's like in the middle, right there, Jersey City.
But it's a great story. But Jersey City has great basketball history.
Well, Bobby Hurley.
Yes. Danny Hurley.
Yeah, but well,
You're talking about
Bobby Hurley Sr. Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Probably one of the greatest high school basketball coaches of all
Frank the
time.
Tank.
Yeah, how's it going?
Very important. Very important.
How's it going?
Look at this. People want to know who you are. They don't give a crap about me. They only care about you.
Well, you had that MVP year, 88, of course.
Yeah, it was a whole nother lifetime.
I mean, the league has changed so much since then.
It has.
I think if Dan Marino played in this era,
Yeah.
with these rules,
Yeah.
there's no telling how many yards he could have passed for.
Well, if he did that and I played alongside of him, how would have I done?
Oh, you'd have probably put more numbers too.
Yeah, okay. It's not just about Dan Marino. I mean, I know he's great and everything, but I mean, my God.
Yeah, well, Dan's always been my favorite.
I am a contemporary of his.
And I hate to tell you this.
Yes.
One of my top 10 sports moments
Yes.
is the spike play.
Yeah, that's overrated. You know why that's overrated? Who was the backup quarterback that day? Do you remember who the backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins was?
Back in '94.
Yes.
Oh, it was.
Come on.
Oh, frig.
Bill Belichick got rid of him. Bernie Kosar.
No, that's right. He was
Kosar.
'94. He was '94. I don't even. You're right. It was Kosar because he got
Right.
there.
And this is
I
why
was
this
1 year
whole
off. He said, I
spike
thought he was
game, this
95.
whole spike game thing is a pile of bullshit. Because Bernie Kosar, when he was the quarterback of the Browns, and the Bengals and the Browns, we had a little thing together back in the day.
You're from
Right. So
You're from
Bernie used to do
Cincinnati.
that. Bernie used to do that all the time, and we all knew about it. And it wasn't Dan's idea to do that spike. That was Bernie's idea.
I
who
never
taught
knew
him
that. I never knew that.
Now you know something. And by the way, you know who the defensive back covering on that
Aaron
play was?
Glenn?
Yes, and he covered. It was a crappy throw. And who was it? O.J. McDuffie?
No, it was Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram makes an unbelievable catch, back shoulder or back hip catch. But Marvin Washington played that play. Aaron Glenn played that play. And then it just became known as one of these jet things. You know what I'm saying? And you got to bring that up to me?
Well, I
just spent like an hour and a half with walking you all over the freaking creation. And you bring that up?
Well, you brought up 94, Mike Victor, so.
Yes, okay. Touche, I guess. That's amazing. You want to take a rest? You need a rest for a minute?
No.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
This is beautiful down here, right?
It's nice. It's like when it's not nice, you can get more energy to walk.
So this is the whole west side bikeway and waterway, coastal way. And this is all the stuff that Mike Bloomberg did after 9/11. Remember, I don't know if you remember this. He said he was going to plant 1 million trees in the 5 boroughs, and everybody scoffed and laughed at that. And this is what came out of all of those plans.
Have you ever been to Little Island?
Yes.
That is trippy.
It is trippy. But you got to see this place to believe it, right?
Yeah, New York's not what it used to be. It's probably the most beautiful big city. Except, I mean, if only we could find a way to get rid of the trash problem.
Well, that's a big problem. You got 8.5 million people in 5 boroughs. A lot of trash. It's a lot of poop. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's something that really not much you could do about it. I know in Chicago, when they played in their city, they had alleyways.
Right. How old are you?
I'm 48.
48. So you weren't around when the great Tom Seaver was pitching?
Nope, I vaguely remember his 83 season.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yep. The first season I fully got into baseball was a good season to do it, 85. Dwight Gooden having just dominance.
So I was 7, 8, 9, growing up in the late 60s. And my heroes as ball players were Tom Seaver, Clyde Frazier, and Rod Gilbert for the Rangers.
Well, I've just recently...
Passed away a couple years ago,
Yep, I just recently... Well, Whatchamacallit passed away last night.
Jerry Grody.
Jerry
And Pat Zachary before that, he was 71 years old.
I vaguely remember Zachary. I just remember him with a big beard.
Yes.
He was actually... Mets got him for Seaver.
Yep.
And of course, 85, good. That was just something else that year. And then 1 year later, they win the World Series.
They should have. That team should have won more. That team was sidetracked by a lot of off-the-field stuff.
Yeah. I love the legacy of that team and how crazy it was.
Yes.
But I also know that craziness imploded eventually.
If that team were playing today, that team probably at least 3 World Series out of 5 years.
Dynasty, yeah. And if they had the wild card back then.
Yes.
And if Davey Johnson actually had a little bit better of instinct in 1988 NLCS and put Randy Myers in Game 4, that series over.
You know, it's amazing. Wasn't Randy Myers a part of the Nasty Boys?
Yes.
Randy Myers, Norm Charlton, was John Franco part of them?
No, actually, it was a straight-up trade, 1-for-1.
Yes.
Myers for Franco.
Franco, that's what it was. Okay.
Straight up.
Myers, Randy Charlton, and there was another guy out there.
Dibble.
Ron Dibble.
Rob Dibble was nuts.
Rob Dibble, that's who it was.
Yes, he was nuts.
You gotta have, so Phil Simms has told me that Bill Parcells has told him many times that every ship needs a rat or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we got those guys over at WFAN. Got a few rats in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine that.
You got to have a few of those Rob Dibble types.
I mean, I remember Rob Dibble got into the fight with Lou Piniella in the clubhouse.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, Lou Piniella was great. He was one of the great personalities. I mean, he was a great player, don't get me wrong. But as a manager, his personality was the best. He like picking up third base and throwing it across the diamond, screaming at the umpires, getting in the face of his players. And man, the guy was awesome.
I remember when he went from Seattle to Tampa. And when he was in Tampa, the Rays just couldn't do anything right. He goes, and it supposedly came out, leaked out. He said, he goes, I look around this team and I look at these players and I said, now I know why this team sucks.
Like John McVay when they asked him about execution. And he goes, I'm all for it. Execute my entire team. That 76
Buccaneer team.
Yes.
That might be the worst professional team in
all right,
the last.
So I played for a 3-13 Richie Kotite team that was pretty bad. And the next year I was gone. They spent $80 million on free agency.
And he went 1-15.
That's exactly right. So we won 3 games somehow. I don't know how I did. We did that. That was an amazing, amazing time. And that was pretty bad. That team was pretty bad.
I remember you got like a brutal, like a big concussion.
Yes.
With your line was just so bad.
So, we're from New York, right? So we know what putting a hit out on somebody's about, right?
Yeah.
Put a hit out on that guy, take him out, when he's out.
Hey.
Take him out, when he's out to dinner with his family, take him out, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like there was a hit put out on me in that Buffalo game where I took that concussion because Richie Kotite decided to take a defensive tackle and make him our starting left tackle in Buffalo against Bruce Smith.
Oh, boy.
Now, playing on the road in Buffalo with Bruce Smith is like impossible. You can't block the guy. You know what I mean?
The leading sacker statistically of all time.
Yeah.
Is, they didn't count stats, but probably Deacon Jones probably has more sacks than him.
So what happens is Everett MacGyver is out at left tackle. Bruce Smith is out there. And all of a sudden he moves his shoulders just like that. Bruce jumps. He's offside, but it's a false start. Nobody can hear a whistle. I drop back. I'm looking down the field, and I've seen it 1,000 times. I don't remember it, but I see it. I've seen it. And he puts the crown of his helmet right underneath my chin.
He'd be ejected today.
Exactly.
He'd be ejected today. Oh yes, this Sunday, I'm speaking to Dwight Gooden. We're going out for Walk 200. Today is Walk 194.
Yep.
Appropriately enough, 94 for you.
Okay.
194 Rangers.
94 Rangers, yes, but 94 Spike game. Which is it?
Rangers.
All right, okay, thank you. You love that, huh? So
I've switched from Nets to Knicks.
You have?
Yes.
Well, the Nets.
And you know what happened?
Yeah.
I dapped up OJ Anunoby, and the next day he had surgery.
Oh, good. So you're the bad luck piece then. All right, so what are you doing? So it's Walk 200.
Yep.
For the NYPD and the FDNY.
Yep, we're going to walk around Citi Field before Dwight Gooden's number retirement.
Okay.
And that's going to be, and we're going to raise money for the FDNY and NYPD. We're actually walking with the guys who've been playing in the hockey game.
Oh, I love that. That's great. And you know, the other thing too, so go this way, guys. You know, the other thing too is that the FDNY and NYPD, like most of us really do appreciate them. The far majority of population, 95%, appreciate the sacrifices that those people make. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
It's a very loud, small group of people that are always screaming and yelling about something. And somehow the squeaky wheel always gets the grease, right?
Yeah, that the officer was murdered last week.
Jonathan Diller.
Yeah, I mean, we put up, got a shirt out for him. That was,
I saw that.
I'm glad that we were able to do that.
And I saw Dave Portnoy actually match the amount of money that they raised for him.
And we're getting involved in tunnels to towers. So that's another September 11th thing. I mean, these people run into burning buildings while everyone's running out. They're running
That's exactly right. And when there's guns involved, people are running to go get guns from people, and
yeah.
I think what you're doing is amazing.
Well, thanks.
You want to play a little basketball or something? You want to play some pickleball? I think I could take you in pickleball.
Probably.
You sure? Do you do it? Do you do anything like that? Do you?
No, I haven't gotten into pickleball yet, but I got.
What are you waiting for?
To get warmer.
Yeah, but you're losing weight now, and things are good. You're thinking healthy, right?
Yep. Someone actually sent me a Volair, actually, the pickleball paddle people.
Okay.
Sent me a special New Jersey Devils pickleball paddle.
You know, if you play with somebody that's pretty good, you really don't have to move much. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yes, it is a good thing.
Okay.
Ride the coattails.
All right. So how many pounds have you lost since you started these walks?
50.
Okay. How many more are we shooting for?
Well, I go step by step. My next goal is 325.
325. How much you weigh now?
333.
You're like a nose tackle, like Vince Wilfork.
I mean, I look at this. Some of my clothes is now swimming on me.
That's good. You're going to well, believe me, I don't think I have a problem getting some new clothes. I think Portnoy would buy you some new clothes. Sure, he has plenty of free stuff laying around, right?
Yep.
You like working for him?
Oh, it's fun. It's a fun experience. He's a great guy. He does a lot of good for a lot of people, and especially a couple years ago when he was raising money for those restaurants during the pandemic.
Yep. 2020, he was out there raising money for small businesses.
He helped keep a lot of doors open.
Yes, he did.
He helped keep a lot of doors. There's a restaurant called Calabria's in Livingston.
Okay.
They said that he saved them, and they really just love him. They treat us like kings every time we go there.
That's great, isn't it?
Yeah, we have Gabrielle runs it, and she treats us like kings every time we go out there. And
I mean, you don't go there expecting free food, do you?
Well, she treats us great. That's all I'll say.
That's great.
Can you also ask more about his foundation, how people can donate?
Oh yes. How you mentioned your foundation before?
Yes.
What's the way to help donate to?
Well, the easiest place is for people to go to Esiason.org. You can find us right there in the web. If you Google my name, you can find it. You know, it's not for everybody. I mean, there's so many different foundations trying to do so many different things, and we really try to stay in our lane. And we have so much support within the cystic fibrosis community, so we like to open it up to other people, and they know that every dollar that they give to us, it works, and it makes a difference in the life of a CF family. And one of the great things we're doing now is we have an IVF program, because CF men cannot have children biologically. There's a problem within their body, so they have to go through IVF, and it's a very expensive process. So now we're helping build families through
great.
IVF programs, and I think we got about 5 or 6 babies on the way now.
Including
including Casper and Mika, who's coming very soon. Yes.
I mean, that's terrific. You know, like I said, I follow Gunner on Twitter. I threw him a follow, seeing how he's become like a coach and.
Yeah, he's great. Have you followed Sydney on Twitter?
Actually, I think I do. Because,
I mean, if you want her husband to come play for your Devils, you better start figuring out what's going on.
Yes, I definitely. I put it this way: the Devils don't need much. They need a defensive defenseman, probably a goalie. Although Jake Allen's played well.
Right.
I wouldn't mind seeing Dawes getting the chance.
Too late now. Too late now. That's all you got to think about next year.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about next year.
Okay.
I'm thinking about next year. So get a tough defenseman, and the one player that I think the Devils really missed is Miles Wood.
Yeah.
They need grit. They don't have any grit. They have the speed, they have the talent, they have the offensive dynamism, but they don't have grit.
And you just got to have defense. You got to be able to block shots. You got to be able to win puck battles in the corner.
I mean, Simo Nemec, he's 20 years old.
Yeah.
He's going to be great.
That's right.
Luke Hughes is going to be great, but he's going to be one of those those offensive defensemen.
Okay.
Well, Boomer, thank you. This flew by.
Yes, it did.
I mean, this flew by. It was a lot of fun. Kind of razzing each other a little bit with the Devils and Dolphins.
Well, Frank, I wish you the best.
Well, thanks.
And you know why I took you here? See?
Oh.
You got your full view of the Freedom Tower.
Beautiful.
That's why. How's that? Say hi to that young man.
How's it going?
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Frank, you take it easy, all right? Guys, I appreciate it. That was fun, man. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Frank Walks is presented by Body Armor.